You're held hostage for months when your captor decides they can make profit out of you. They have enough control over you to get you to sit in front of a camera and demand you eat raw fish. Their trust in you is complete, and you'll end up bringing them hundreds of thousands in profit. So why did it all stop? This is the analysis of Katiap's channel, part 3 of 4. Everything is not okay. Maja is the name. Analysis of Katiap's channel, 3 out of 4 is the game. Listen, by next week I will be completely desensitized. I'm already almost there. After rewatching every single one of these videos at least 3 times, I'm almost there, and then we get to the one with the brains, and I just, no, my stomach will not, cannot, I don't think I will ever be desensitized to that video. That video is the grossest thing out there on the internet. Except actually the deleted video from her channel that we are gonna talk about next week because it fits there more. Okay, so hi everybody, let's do this. Let's stretch our neck. Okay, cool. 3 out of 4. Katiap analysis. First things first. Come on, do it like Iggy. I'm the realist. No. First thing is first. If you have not watched the part 1 and part 2, I would highly suggest you do that, because this is gonna be kind of like a summary of it all, and it won't make much sense if you're not familiar with the channel, etc. So do the binge and come back at me. But secondly, Katiap, respond to my email. It's a very eloquent email. It just says, hey, and I know it has been delivered. I don't know if you have opened it though. Can I figure out if a person has opened it? Hit me up, let me know. Cool. I'm just checking, whether or not somebody will take the bait and whether or not she will respond. Thirdly, why you should watch the first and the second part, except from just like logic and common sense, is because these two-parters, upon my decision last night, will be told from a different perspective. We're doing the POV, okay? We're doing different points of view. So this third-parter is going to be told from a perspective of a possible captor. So I'm going to be talking as if I am the captor of Katiap. Just a disclaimer, I am not. I don't have that time on my freaking hands, and I would most definitely not make the girl eat something that would make me wanna vom. So I feel like there were other points that you could have said before, like, oh, I just find fish disgusting, like that would maybe showcase your character better. But the moral of the story, I am not the one. It just might sound like a creepypasta, and it might sound crazy. By the end of the video, let me know if it is. If you think it sounds crazy, it is probably that the conspiracy theories that are out there on the internet might be crazy. Or you might hear it and be like, damn, no, something sinister is definitely happening. Everything is definitely not okay. In the next video, for the finale, I will be speaking as if I were Katiap deciding to make this channel. So the point of view is going to change. So, let's go into the villainous zone and let's begin. The year was 2018. It was just after April the 20th. I realized I have this professional camera and professional lighting that I haven't been using for years. Every time I would go on the internet, I would be seeing these trends on YouTube. All of these mukbang videos by different people that would be getting millions and millions of views. After watching a few of those videos where the host would speak while also consuming large amounts of food, I discovered a whole new niche that interested me much more. This was a niche of ASMR creators that would eat a food that was on the tray, but the focus would prevalently be on their face and on the food that looked aesthetically pleasing in front of them. The part that appealed to me the most, though, was the fact that they weren't speaking. You could only hear them chew. And this particular niche amassed a lot of views. I actually checked the Social Blade account for quite a few of these YouTube accounts. And these creators would be making a lot more money than plenty of doctors and surgeons that have studied for a decade would on annual basis. The only tricks were have high quality resolution on those videos and have high quality sound. I had both the good quality camera and the mic. So at first in April 2018 I would just be setting up this table with a huge tray on it and then set up the camera and the lights from all these different angles, trying to see where the best lighting shots are, trying to figure out the angle where I will have the best resolution from, but also the angle that will not reveal much of the background. Nobody really wants to see that. Everybody wants the focus to be on the food. I already had a YouTube channel for months. It was just under a different name. But that day, when I brought her out of the basement and set her down chained to this metal table, I realized that name will have to change. I already knew the food she preferred to eat. Poor soul, I would starve her a lot, and then, when she would comply with all of my demands, she would get to eat her favorite, salmon. So this day, April the 23rd, 2018, will be a special day. The location on the YouTube channel has now been changed, and the name stated simply Kate Yup. It would be ambiguous enough, but also Americanized enough to get us the views. For all I knew, the girl in front of me could have been named anything. I removed the tape covering her mouth, and her blindfold now had the holes for her eyes, so she was able to see the amount of salmon that she had in front of her. I pressed play after instructing her to smile both at the beginning and at the end of the video. She says the last bite, she smiles, and cut. The first video is done. Now I only have to pass her the laptop to edit this video. Of course, I made sure that she doesn't have internet access, nor that she can connect to Wi-Fi nearby. Once the camera goes off, that tape goes back onto her mouth, and I switch up the blindfold because I can't allow her to see any of her surroundings. You thought you could see only a few details: a kitchen sink, a candle, a pot, a plant in the background, possible passageway, some drawers. While you were paying attention to that, desperately trying to figure out any bit that would point you to the location, Kate was only able to focus on the camera and the lights. Every time just before she was to start devouring large portions of food in front of her, I would swap the blindfold, allowing her to see and familiarize herself with the environment in order for it to look natural on camera. I would give her the rough length that I had planned for a video just as she would sit down and assess the amount of food that she had in front of her. And unfortunately, this meant that she had to move with speed. So sometimes the viewers would see one of her eyes, or they would see something that they might have thought to be a mole. After I purchased more blindfolds, you might have even seen her nose shape. So far though, the blindfold has served its purpose, because none of you have been able to do a single thing with any of those identifiers. Some of you might even say that I don't watch those videos before they go online, because Kate has clearly been signaling for help from the very first one. Don't think that I don't notice it. Think about it though. As soon as I notice that she has positioned the tray under such an angle in the first couple of videos for the viewers to be able to see the metal table that she is chained under, I put a towel on top of it. It works both ways really. It preserves the sound for the viewers, and also it preserves her legs for being bruised and then those bruises getting infected. And I know a lot of other things did not really turn up as perfectly as I intended. As I mentioned, I wanted the whole channel to be ASMR. I did review her first couple of videos while she was editing them quite a few times, because she did utter a few words. But in the end, I decided it's fine. I made the executive decision for her to leave those cuts in. She only whispers a few words. The voice recognition isn't up to identifying the voice just from her whispers. Not to mention her clothing and just how much skin she exposed during those first few videos. Since then, as you noticed, we never repeated the same mistake. And we never slipped up on the most important things, like the blindfold and the headband covering her identifying features. I even had to tell her to address the headband situation in one of those videos and to put text on screen saying that she is not suicidal, because I knew that that was going to stir the arguments in a completely different direction, that being the direction that suited me. Unfortunately, one of the risks that I had to take was giving her the glass balls. They did appear to be a lot more reflective than I intended, but again, you just saw somebody move behind a camera. Sometimes you would pick up on my presence from different things, like noises, little whispers directing her, or just me shaking the table, making sure she speeds up. I gave her the desired length of the video. Nobody wants to watch ASMR mukbang video that lasts for 40 minutes. Sometimes you probably heard the sound of me being behind her, just ensuring that the door is shut and all of the noises are left behind. What conclusions have you drawn from seeing my reflection in those bowls? Do you know my gender? My age? The location where she's at? She does choose to leave those cuts in the videos, and I let her, because I get off on the comments that I read afterwards online. Would the kidnapper not be dumb to let its captive edit their videos? Well, this question is twofold really. I am the director of the videos, so I'm aware of everything that is going on while the camera is recording. Sometimes, true, I might have only picked up on certain mistakes in post-production, and I have already, as you have seen from the description boxes, spent over $1,000 on the food that she is consuming, so I let certain things slide and learn from my mistakes. You were probably able to witness that after that video where she guided me to have the angle more upwards for more of her face to be in the shot and also more of the background. After reviewing this video in post-production, I saw that the sink was visible, but you couldn't really figure out all of the items on it. So from then on, I ensured that the way she edits the videos changes. After all, zooming in on her face and the large amounts of food that she is eating fits the energy of the whole channel. I make sure the angle is set up every time before I chain her to the table. I change the rooms, I change the angles quite a few times. After her 9th video was published, I realized that we were missing something. She ate salmon throughout most of her videos. Most of the other mukbangers weren't just eating salmon, they had a large variety of food in front of them. So when I brought her up for us to record her 10th video, I sat her down and swapped her blindfolds, and I could hear her gasp. Even that gasp was almost inaudible. She didn't even flinch, and I knew at that moment that she has been brainwashed enough. She was to use the scissors in the next video to cut up the lobster, and I knew her body language will not alert anybody. Having the variety of foods on the channel didn't always work. We experimented with chicken and with sweets, and it was visible, very visible on the camera, that it was her first time eating aloe vera. And with the chicken video, we had to insert some music on top of that, which defied the whole purpose of the ASMR. None of those really fit the channel. Nor did it fit her mood. If I wasn't to give her to eat salmon in every single video, she would be grumpy all throughout, and the commentators picked up on it. She started putting up the disclaimers telling you that this is how she likes to eat. Yes, we agreed on it. I decided on that because if I make you feel she doesn't like to eat in an aesthetic way, then everything else fits in. The table shaking, the manic energy, it all fits. Another trick we do to throw people off balance is that I allow her to wear jewelry. It's her special treat, just like allowing her to paint her nails sometimes. Her hair had clearly been lighter between video 1 and 30, and her arms have definitely gotten hairier, but hey, That can be attributed to the whole personality that the internet got from the lack of aesthetic otherwise. We spoke about it later. Her hair at the beginning was all over the place. She even looked comfortable. In those first few videos, her hair is literally across her shoulder and looks a different shade of brown. I mean, in those ones, she seems completely careless. Not to mention the fact that we had to hide those bruises at times and find a way to justify them. What were the theories that we offered to the people in the first place? Herpes and sunburns. I mean, at least they worked in order to get people to look into the opposite direction. As really the whole production of the channel is just between me and her, sometimes I get to be a director and sometimes I get to be a fashion designer. I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes she would sit in front of that camera and would not be in the mood. It would be a struggle even getting her to smile at the beginning and at the end of the video. This is when I started compensating for that with fashion. Different fashion choices. Sometimes she would have earrings, sometimes she would have her hair clip, and at times these different sweaters. Never anything branded, never anything that could identify where she might have gotten it from. She did wear a few repeat sweaters that distracted people from noticing how skinny she has gotten, or really that the excitement has gone out of her. We did speak about this experience being twofold, didn't we? So you see, yes, I am a director, but then I also have to oversee the production, rather what she lives in. She would ask me, should she get rid of all of the background noises, all of the creaks, the zipper opening, all of the poses where she looks directly at me for direction of how fast she should be eating. And you know what? 15 videos in, we didn't even have 150,000 subscribers. So I made the executive decision to leave these disturbing sounds in. It would just add to the speculation in the comments, and more comments means more engagement, which means more views. It's only after people could comment and start stirring the conspiracy theories that we started making some money. Did you notice how she only had something to drink in like 2 videos? How you did? Do you remember Colleen Stan's case, the girl in the box? Well, her captor, Cameron Hooker, would only let her out of that box for about an hour a day. He would torture her, he would give her only 1 glass of water and some food to consume. At least I'm not a monster. Kate had sips of water not only in 1, but 2 of her videos. Having her eat her favorite salmon in most of the videos at least kept her happy enough to smile at the beginning and at the end of them and not to send police to our IP address for a welfare check. But no, I have not forgotten about the biggest slip-up on this channel. Morse code? When did she learn Morse code? I had to implement some crisis management straight away and publish a comment from Reddit, which was immediate copy-paste. But hey, at least it boosted our ratings, I guess. Suddenly the channel did start getting large amount of subscribers and viewers. And the only thing she managed to send to people through Morse code was "I need help." It took me a few months to get the hang of this YouTube thing, making sure the videos are scheduled and not just posted without me scanning through them. She could have also inserted anything into the template in the description box, so I introduced one that we kept copying in later videos. Just giving people enough of a teaser, her age, gender, teasing a location in a few of them. Oh, we got the chicken nuggets from Belgium. Oh, she might be French because she is more fluent in French than in English. She might be visiting France soon, as she indicated in a response to a comment of one of her viewers. You still have no idea where she is based. YouTube engagement is an odd one. It took me a while to realize I should only heart and respond to the positive comments in order not to slip up by any chance, because people can screenshot things these days. But also it distracted everybody who thought she might be a troll, because if she is a troll, then why isn't she responding to all the comments calling her out? Why isn't she joking with people in the description boxes, in the comments? Why isn't she responding to all of the jokey ones and messing with you? And the main reason why I had to oversee the post-production is because of her text on screen. She introduced those from the fourth video, and I gotta admit, she got too brazen with them. At first, she only started using text on screen to state what food she is eating, and also to replace those little highs and byes that she did at the beginning and the end of the videos in her whispers. But then, under the pretense of better editing, she starts putting these conversations up on screen. Sometimes she apologizes directly to me. She would say, "Sorry, I was too up. Next time it will be better." There was this other time when she said, "Sorry, my head was too high. I better will take my position next time." Sometimes she would put so many of those that I would get distracted. She would start capitalizing certain letters. She would put a mix of capitals and minuscules, like to spell SOS. She started making only certain letters at the beginning of certain sentences bold, but would then have all of these conversations so that you miss out on it. In one video, she even manages to put the word help past me by boldening the letters at the beginning of certain sentences. It's as if she doesn't understand that I read the comments. So in the next video, I made sure that she used this text on screen to troll with people. Nobody's torturing me, oh no, I am lying. In fact, there is people torturing me every day, without even knowing it. All those continuing to spread the rumor. I started feeling like I am out of control, this whole community, having to have the comments on, making sure you only respond to the right ones was exhausting. Not to mention, now that she has gotten editing savvy, I had to check, double check, triple check that post-production before actually scheduling it. It would delay the posting of the videos, and then even once posted, it would bring the onslaught of all of the conspiracy theories in the comments. And with the last video, I knew it all had to stop. As soon as her teeth started falling out, I knew whatever we were to put as the text on screen would not satisfy anybody. I told her to put that it is her wisdom teeth. She doesn't know what wisdom teeth are, and that the part of the tooth is devitalized. It's too big of a word compared to what she uses to write, but anything to justify it at this point. I demanded that she brushes it off, saying that she is feeling well and nothing will stop her from eating. All of this focus on how disturbing it is that her teeth are falling out made everybody forget that Kate usually invited people not to hesitate to subscribe to her channel for more videos. Until, in this last one, she doesn't. And here were people saying she never gave us signs that she will go offline. But she did. You just weren't paying attention. You should be very concerned, because she's either dead, and that's why she's not posting, or I realized that there were a lot of mental health issues, and I'm not actually her captor, more of a domestic abuser, and I have gotten her hospitalized and hooked on pills. Or, and this one requires trigger warning for a lot of you watching this if you are sensitive to this kind of issue. She had obviously been suffering with a food disorder. Finally, I have realized just how bad it has gotten after she started losing her teeth. I could have realized that she had a binge eating disorder and decided to profit on it. These kind of purges have people eating much larger amounts of food that they would want to eat. They usually feel disconnected from their eating during a binge, kind of like Kate, and even struggling to remember what they have consumed in the aftermath. And did you know that these binges can be planned just like a ritual, or they can involve a person buying special binge foods and scheduling this kind of binge? During those binges, and especially if their access to water is limited, they would get dehydrated and as such lose electrolytes. Or just another thought, she did eat a lot of raw fish. She could have had some health consequences because the fish was raw, because of the bacteria in it. Possibly even a mercury poisoning, leading to brain or heart damage. Something of a definite concern though, whether it was because of the lack of water that she has been drinking, or because of the amounts of food that she would purge on. The lack of saliva caused by this disorder would often lead to something that is known as dry mouth. This would be the cause of her damaged teeth, you see, because saliva washes away the bacteria that would cause the tooth decay. And whether it was dry mouth or whether it was bulimia that would subject the teeth to the exposure of acid from the stomach, I realized the situation is much worse than I thought, and she had to go. Why? Why did I do any of this? Because I know the leeways. I know the chances of me being caught are none. No one can identify me from those reflections. No one sees my face. They're only left with speculations. She can't say a thing because I'll make sure it's edited out. And most importantly, no one can identify the location, or her for that matter. I know my way around YouTube's terms of service, and I know that there is no such flag for a victim being kidnapped and then somebody asking them to eat food on camera. So whoever I am, I guess the conclusion is that I am good at this. I chose the medium to post these videos on that I knew would respect users' privacy. But also I ensured I made SEO-friendly content that still to this day remains the popular niche on YouTube. This in turn ensures I get those clicks, ensures that my click-through rate is low, and brings me money without me having to even move a finger. So I guess most importantly for me, I knew that it would make me rich. So you keep wondering where she is, who she is, and how we can help her. But what if the reality is that there is no one who needs your help anymore, and I have gotten away with it? Okay, the level of psychopath that I have sounded during this video. Okay, oh my god, I feel dirty, I feel like I need a shower, I don't feel that this will fly with people, I feel like a criminal even though I have done nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Well, how did that sound to you? I guess that is the question. If it sounded insane, if it sounded crazy, completely implausible, then I feel like you probably know what you're thinking about this case right now. And maybe you're leaning towards the fact that she indeed has not been kidnapped. And if you are on the other end of the line, thinking like, okay, this kind of sounds plausible, like, she wasn't really a great actress, she wasn't really selling it well. But in terms of like the plotline and somebody's thought process, I can see it. Well, drop any theories and comments below, because I would like to know your thoughts. Unless, of course, YouTube removes this video. Okay, listen, YouTube people, YouTube agents, FBI agents of YouTube. If you're watching this and you decide to remove this video, but all of her 30 videos are up there, what is up with that? Yeah, you answer me that. You question those motives behind your actions, if this is how you choose to operate. But now, I'm gonna go have a shower, think about what I have just done, and then, I don't know, go see the sun of the day or something. Have a cleanse. Have like a juice cleanse to like calm myself down. And while I have a detox and consider all of my life mistakes, you keep making this world a better place, one motive at a time. And I will be seeing you next week. Bye. She does choose to leave those cuts in the videos, yes. And I let her. So when I brought her up for the recording of the 10th video for the channel, I sat her down, swapped the blindfolds, and what she saw on the tray were the scissors. Oh, it's so hilarious. And I could hear her gasp. She didn't even flinch, and I knew I have brainwashed her. People could definitely buy into the metal table that she's chained under. Well, what did I do? What did I do? And the only thing she managed to send as a message through Morse code was, "I need help." Girl, it was obvious. In one video, she even slipped up signaling that she needs help. Again, Claire. Claire. Sometimes you either did hear the noises where I would shake her table to make her eat faster, after which you probably saw that she did pick up. She's fearful of. Oh god, I sound like a complete psychopath.